What is the Bible's biggest mystery? This comes from Liam. What would you say is the Bible's biggest mystery? Now, is there a pending mystery? Do you think that there is a, well, I guess if there was a pending mystery, we wouldn't know it, right? We wouldn't, because it would be a mystery. What do you consider to be Scripture's biggest mystery, David?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to hit, I'm trying to get the sense of what Liam means in this question. But I'll tell you one mystery I find is how, listen, I believe that God is sovereign, God is all-powerful, God has an absolutely predetermined destination and plan that he's working all things towards the accomplishment of. And I believe that he's created men and women with real choices that really matter. Mm. And how those two reconcile, I think is a mystery. And I'm happy to leave it to mystery. It doesn't torture me. It doesn't bother me. But I think part of it I find resolved just in the infinite capability of God. Mm. And how God has no limitation on such things. And God can perform this. How he performs it, man, to me, that's mystery. But I think the Scripture teaches both with great clarity. Mm-hmm. And I get a little annoyed if there's a theological system that sort of either implicitly or specifically sort of denies or downplays one or more of those aspects.
There have been attempts by certain theologians to untie that knot.
Yeah.
And I think that it has created some issues and some problems. This is the way it is, and they end up saying things about God that seem to be untrue.
Yes, and that's what we need. Or about man that's untrue.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Typically, if you're going to say something about God that's untrue, it's going to end.
It'll lead to something about man that's
exactly.
Untrue. Yeah. So that's for me, Lance. That's one of the big sort of mysteries I find in the Scriptures. If you want to talk about other mysteries, what happened to the Ark of the Covenant? Does it still exist? Those are, to me, right. That's an interesting Bible mystery right there.
Okay.
How about you?
I think you hit the nail on the head there with the sovereignty and the free will of man. Yeah. I think that's a...
All right, can I say something there?
Sure.
I don't use that phrase, free will.
Libertarian?
No, I don't do that. This is what I do. Yeah. I'd say real choice.
Okay.
I think a legitimate argument can be made how free the will of man is.
Right.
Because we're influenced. So,
right.
So just to avoid that dispute, I say real choice.
Oh, that's good.
Because look, either we have real choices or we don't.
Right.
If we don't have real choices, then to some extent we're robots. And if we're robots, well then, okay, then, be honest about it and let's go with it. So I say real choices.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I don't think I've heard you share that before, but I'm going to adopt that. And the reason why I've always had, whenever I say free will, because it's a category that everybody understands.
Right.
But there's always something inside of me, but not really, because we're bound in sin. We still struggle with sin.
Martin Luther's work in his dialogue with Erasmus, in his work, The Bondage of the Will,
right,
kind of deals and explains the whole thing. And look, there's a lot of truth to that. But still, in whatever sense our will is bound, does it mean that men and women do not have real choice?
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Well, I'm so happy I could be of help here today, Lance.
Hey, we're thankful that you were able to join us today. Again, send in your questions. You can continue to put them on the comment section here. We'll get those, and hopefully we'll be able to answer your questions in a future episode. So, David, this was fun.
A lot of fun, Lance. Let's do it again.
All right. Sounds good.